Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name's Jeff Richards, and I think we are going to start because we have got a very crowded session today. I'm going to try and talk as quickly as I can through my slides and then hand over to our guest speakers. This is the July Business Partner Advisory Council, and I am joined today by Elizabeth Pienaar, who is our Head of Development and Support for Sage CRM, Mich Martins, who is the CEO of MWare Consulting, and Anthony Lipshitz, who's the Director of ASTECH as well. So we've got three very good speakers with us today, and what we're going to do is, as before, we are going to go through a series of understanding of the updates around development and the upcoming releases. And we are now talking about the upcoming releases because 2025 R1 has been released and we are in the development cycle for 2025 R2. We'll be looking at some of the recent activities, so what's happened since our last meeting. Look at some insights from partners, roadmap updates, and looking at updates on collateral and success stories. So that's what we're doing today, and we've certainly introduced Mich, Elizabeth, and Anthony. They're going to be speaking to you in a moment, but just remind us of our purpose here in this meeting is to make sure that we are trying to be as transparent as possible in ensuring that you understand our strategy, that the feedback that you give us will be acting as a validation of that strategy, and looking at some of the work around blind spots within the roadmap. We have shared in previous sessions, so I'd refer you back to our last BPAC in March, that you understand that we've got July, March, April, May was the last BPAC that we had, in which I looked at the idea of the gaps that we had identified in our internal analysis around areas that we have to work on. We'll be looking and sharing some of the roadmap, and this is a transitional moment. You'll be seeing a little bit later on. I'll talk more about how our roadmap is transitioning, because we had a roadmap until 2027. We have to be doing some updating of that. And we'll also be looking at the purpose is understanding the relationships within our community as well. That's why we're including so many speakers, to make sure that we all are very much understanding of where we fit inside the ecosystem. This is an invitational meeting. It is a fairly generous invitational meeting, so you can suggest to me other people who should come along, partners as well as colleagues, and if you want to do that, just drop a note to Sage CRM team at Sage. I'm not the only one who monitors that email account, so please do share that with our colleagues who want to be able to come along to this meeting. Now, we've developed since Sage Future a set of messages that we're sharing very strongly internally within Sage, and our messaging within Sage has actually become very robust, and I have to say, you're going to be hearing some of the benefits of that a little bit later on, in terms of the investment that we've been able to secure, in terms of both additional development resource and also the ability to go out to the conferences and support events. So Sage is fully committed to Sage CRM with an active roadmap. I say it's transitional because we're through until 2027. We're just about to develop the 2030 vision. We've got a highly profitable product delivering consistent value to Sage and partners. We have an integration story that actually, and Danny Lewis here will say, we will go stretch all the way from Sage 50 all the way through to Sage Intact. We've got partners who have got that, and we've got developing a story around the marketplace, which I'll be sharing a little bit later on. we've got a very flexible product that can be deployed in any way that the customer wants, so on cloud, on premise, hybrid environments. We've got a strong return on investment, total cost of ownership story. We've been changing the licensing to ensure that it's a very easy to understand model. And of course, we expand the ERP value proposition, and that's why we're working so hard to try and be there in the TPAC conferences that around the world. So we've got a lot of key messages. I'm not going to read out this slide again, but basically it is saying that that's the message that's come to us and is driving the team, that we are supposed to be acting like a startup and just getting on and knocking aside barriers. Although sometimes you can't knock aside the barriers, sometimes you just have to ignore them. We have to be a bit more like a river in flow. If somebody says no, well, we'll go around and find the other parent and say, Mum says we can't, but Dad, can we? That sort of thing. So we are finding permissions all the time to be able to do the things that we need to do. Now, reminding you, we are working with a product vision, that it's all about integration capabilities. It's all about empowering customers with actionable insights. So that's reporting based, the transparency of the data. We want to make sure our APIs are fit for purpose. We are all about delighting customers with updates to our API, to our user interface all the time, and a deploy anywhere path strategy with the idea of constantly looking at improving our reliability and scalability and performance, as well as that simplification. Sage CRM is a 360 product. It works across every single department. It's not a single trick pony. It is not a point solution. It is a generalist product that works across the entire organization, from all the way from the initial sales department through operations, through marketing, through to dispatch as well. So you can use Sage CRM in lots of different environments, and we'll be hearing from Mich in a little bit about one of the innovative ways it's being used, and of course from Anthony as well, looking at a completely rechanged CRM being used for a particular vertical solution, or a rather industry solution. Now, it's worth reminding ourselves of the opportunity that sits out there. This is from a recent Sage survey. It's actually now about a year old, but it is all about where the opportunity sits for Sage CRM in terms of organizing data, tracking sales, delivering service, and better visibility. These are things that are reported by Sage customers as them needing. This is where Sage CRM can be used as a value add to the existing Sage products that people have. And don't be afraid to lead with Sage CRM as well. I mentioned that we had simplified the licensing. This is all about making sure that we are creating an environment for Sage CRM in which it's a very predictable cost. You don't get stuck in trying to work out where are we in terms of the number of users, the amount of data that is flowing through the system, or anything like that. It is a very predictable return. Total cost of ownership calculation, and then return on investment. So we are confident that the changes that we've made means that whether you are dealing with 10 users or 200 users, you can work out the benefit for you for Sage CRM, because we give everyone the full fire hose of features. Now, as we step on, it is worth helping us, worth constantly saying is that this is part of making Sage CRM fit into an organization. They are always needing CRM, even if they don't think of the word CRM, because it's part of the digitization of the processes for organizations. So we might think that it's part of sales management, but equally it is part of customer service and all of the mechanisms that surround that. Now, I'm going to stop here because that's my introduction. I'm going to hand over to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth, just tell me when you want me to click through and drive the slides for you.
Sure. Go ahead, Jeff. Thanks. Okay. Hello to everybody. It's really good to see so many people joining the call today, and I'm delighted that there'll be 2 other South Africans speaking later. Before I talk about 25R1, I'd like to go back to 24R2 just to provide some context, to give us an overview of what we've done in FY25 before we talk about where we're going next. So this is a summary of the features that we put into last September's release. We reintroduced Sage CRM II, that's our chatbot, but we also gave admins the permission to disable it if they wanted to. For an existing feature, the import contacts and emails feature, we removed that restriction on the number of email folders that CRM can access. We modernized MailChimp, so the existing MailChimp integration, we gave, again, sysadmins permission to customize the merge fields, and we also added support for MailChimp's new email builder. So sysadmins can choose to keep the classic one or use the new email builder. A couple more things. We added new mail merge templates. We updated the mobile interface with the new branding. We addressed security issues, and we put in 33 customer case fixes in the 2024 R2 release. Next, please, Jeff. The story of the year really is Exchange online integration. So Microsoft, I'm sure you're all aware of this, Microsoft made a change to one of the roles that we relied on. So we had to update the way we integrate with Microsoft Exchange Online. We now use Graph API instead of AWS. Back in March, we released 3 patches. So those modernized Exchange Online integration, and we released 3 to cover all the versions of CRM that were supported at the time. So all versions from 22R1 to 24R2. Then in May, we released another set of 3 patches, again, covering all the supported versions of CRM. Those were to fix issues with the first set of patches. And then in June, we released yet another set of patches to fix 1 remaining bug. There's more information about all of these patches and about why they were necessary on the Sage Community Hub. We always publish an advisory on the Community Hub whenever we release a Sage CRM patch. And if you want the details about what's in each patch, they're in the README for that patch, which are on the Sage CRM Help Center. And they come in the patch as well. They're part of the build. Next slide, please, Jeff. So this is about the second and third sets of patches. So these are the bugs that were fixed. Most of the issues relate to timing of appointments. So the start time or the end time were wrong when the appointment was synced across from CRM to Exchange or backwards. Appointments started too early, or they started too late, or they'd finished, or they lasted hours instead of 30 minutes. And then the final patches, the June patches, they fixed a bug with appointments that were created before the sync was enabled. So appointments created in the past weren't synced when the sync was enabled. That has now been fixed. These issues are all fixed in the latest set of patches. So patches are cumulative. So if a bug was fixed in R2.4, it's also fixed in R2.5 and 2.6 and so on. And everything is fixed in the maintenance release, which is 25R1. Next slide, please, Jeff. So the headline feature here is obviously Exchange Online integration, but there are also some important security enhancements in this release. So something to fix SQL injection, the encryption of self-service passwords, and there are 2 vulnerabilities. They are addressed. The CVEs for those are in the release notes for 25R1. We've put in some improvements to the user interface as well. So fixing the display of icons in the dashboard, we've moved a button, and we've removed a restriction, an illogical restriction on the names that can be used for relationships between sibling entities. In total, there are 29 customer issues addressed in this release. Please see the release notes for the details of everything, not only about the issues that we've addressed, but also on the configuration of Exchange Online integration, because it is fairly complicated and important to do it step by step. Thank you, Jeff. So this is the world. This is where we sell CRM across the globe. The internal release date for 25R1 was Friday, the 13th of June. The external release date depends not only on the region, but also on the integration. So the release date for 300 and 100 that affects all regions where that integration is sold. That would include South Africa, Australia, and Asia, and obviously North America as well. So those releases were on the same day as North America standalone. That was a week ago. Germany and Spain got in there early. Sage UKI was released yesterday. Can you confirm that, Jeff? Yesterday?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. All the information went out yesterday.
Excellent. Thank you. And then France is on Friday. So by the end of this week, it will be available everywhere. Thank you, Jeff. Just a very quick note about upgrades. These are the upgrades that we have tested. So we've tested direct upgrades from 22R1 onwards. So any release that was supported at the time, any version of CRM that was supported at the time that we released 25R1, you can upgrade directly from that version to 25R1. If you have customers on older versions, and we know that many customers are still on pre-22R1 releases, they need to upgrade to at least 22R1 or later before they jump up to 25R1. Thank you, Jeff. So it's a reminder that the support for 22R1 and R2 will end on the 30th of September. That's just 2.5 months away. So the dates are on the Help Center for the support end dates. If you do have customers on unsupported versions who are still stuck on 7.1 or even older than that, there is an upgrade path they can follow. And we always recommend that customers upgrade. It's not just for the new features and the bug fixes, but also for the security enhancements that are in every release. So please encourage your customers to upgrade. Next, please, Jeff. Oh, there's not much to talk about here. Not much changed in 25R1. We added support for Windows Server 25, and that means that we've dropped support for Windows Server 2019. So just to explain how this works, we test current and previous versions of Windows Server and the database server as well, and we support what we've tested. So this does not mean that it doesn't necessarily mean that 25R1 won't work on 2019. In fact, there's no reason why it wouldn't work. It simply means that it wasn't tested. So we test and then we support what we've tested, and we didn't test 25R1 on 2019 because we test current and previous, but there's no reason why it wouldn't work on an older version. Thanks, Jeff. Oh, and finally from me, this is a reminder of all the resources that are available on the Sage Community Hub. So blogs, knowledge base articles, downloads, and also announcements. If you have a login, you can create a subscription to be notified whenever there's an announcement. So anytime there's any new patch, any new version, any security issue with CRM, there will be an announcement on the community. So I recommend that you create a subscription for announcements so that you're always kept aware of what's happening, what's going on. Thank you. That's all from me. Thanks, Jeff.
So much. This is just a reminder now or just let you know what we've been doing over the last few months, just a couple of months since we last met. The big story is, of course, Sage Future. Sage Future, big event in Atlanta at the beginning of June. I didn't go. Sage CRM was not specifically called out. I know Mich went and has shared some feedback around that as well. One of the things that we know is that, one of the things I did ahead of Atlanta was I prepared speaking packs and notes about Sage CRM to every single one of my Sage colleagues. That was welcomed by the people, of course, who now work with Sage 100 and Sage 300 in North America. But whether they liked it or not, my Sage X3 and Sage Intacct colleagues got speaking notes about Sage CRM as well. So we had a benefit of being able to inform a wider group of people in Sage about that. I've had feedback now from Rob Sinfield and also from Mike Ritchie and Mike Edgett about the inclusion of mention of Sage CRM within their presentations and in the conversations that they had with partners attending. So I'm content really with with what we had in terms of representation of Sage CRM within the context that this was an ERP focused conference. So every Sage product was presented. The good news is that the story now from Sage is that Sage Intacct is a gradual Sage Intacct is a gradual product rather than something that is a forced transition for our Sage 100 and 300 install base. And one of the things I've learned is that Sage CRM was the first mid-market product to be able to say that it had any AI within it as well. So there's all good things as a result of Sage Future. There is going to be an announcement on the community by the end of this week, indicating that we're sharing that we'll be putting new dates out for free training in August. And not everyone goes on holiday. Just a lot of us go on holiday in August, but I will be spending some of my time delivering training during August. It'll be I'm sure it'll be very quiet sessions without many people attending, but we'll be concentrating on some of the marketing elements within Sage CRM. And as a reminder, since we last met, we have completed the e-learning that we had offered on the user basics, the user fundamentals training, and that's available all on the Sage support and training website, YouTube channel. There's also up on the YouTube channel the What's New in Sage CRM 2025 R1 video. That's a quick reminder of what we've delivered. That's basically me talking about how we've delivered Sage Exchange integration online and a few other things within the product. There are a lot of blogs that have been posted recently, so interesting range blogs. I'm not the only person now writing blogs within the community. We've got more people, more voices, whether that's from Santiago in Australia or Jobin, one of my colleagues, or Seema as well, and one of my other colleagues writing blogs, and you'll be able to find those there. So there's more information being published all the time. Just a note as well, this is something that I've been requested to do, is that when it comes to if you're a UK partner, UK or Irish partner, then all UKI partners need to request their licenses for Sage CRM, and they are linked to new reseller roles that match the equivalent roles for Sage 200. So there is a change. So please go ahead and make sure. You should have had a communication direct from Sage, but there are some people who have not yet activated their Sage CRM licenses. So please do that. There is news coming up about APAC partner enablement as well. So if you're an Australian or Pacific partner, please note that they are building up to some commercial activity to promote Sage CRM. And I know that there are new CRM partners being recruited to be able to sell Sage CRM. There are those who are looking now at the commercial opportunity, and that's based on the conversations that we've been having since the last Asian conference last year. These things are slow, but they build up, and Sage CRM now is starting to get more commitment from the team in Sage Asia and also across the partner channel there. We're also doing a partner enablement session for the Africa Middle East team as well. So that's going to be announced shortly. I will be sharing that with everyone who wants that, and an email. I've just been corresponding today with the marketing team in Johannesburg about publicising this to the entire Africa Middle East 300 partner base. What else have we got going? Oh, of course, the Sage 300 Action Group have got their ISV sessions coming up. Mich is grinning like a Cheshire cat there about the idea that we're advertising that. But this is important. People like the next speakers, retail, I don't know, but Granite I know very well. It's fun realizing that when you see somebody from Granite standing up and they are demonstrating how they are talking live. This is a demonstration proof of concept that they did, capturing information, text, so voice to text, writing straight into CRM. It's a brilliant thing. They've got some very innovative partners in South Africa and around the world. So please do check out the Sage 300 Action Group, and that's a link to take you to register for that webinar. I hope you don't mind me sharing that, do you, Mich? No, that's all good. Good. And TPAC, the next Asian conference, third-party advantage conference, has been announced. That's taking place in October 12th to the 14th. And I'm going. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got all of the investment coming in to make sure that we're able to attend these conferences to promote Sage CRM and to be able to really drive sales. It will only work if you, as partners, start selling Sage CRM. We're going to be doing more and more work to make sure that CRM gets better and better. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. I'm now going to hand over to our partner. So who's first? It is Mich. So I'm going to go mute and hand over to you.
Thanks so much, Jeff. And thanks so much for the mention of the Sage Action Group. We have a ISV session, as Jeff said, next week on the 24th. And then we have very good...
Could you check your audio? It's coming across to me in a very distorted, crackly way.
Is it? I can maybe leave and quickly join again.
No, he's good. I can hear him okay.
I can hear him okay.
Just please. You can hear him okay. It's just me, is it?
Good.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Okay, that's just...
See, Jeff. Just to continue on what Jeff said for TPAC, it's going to be really, really cool. For the guys that don't know, Doug has asked me to join their group of TPAC forces, and I've been appointed as director. Very much involved with what's happening in Vietnam, and I'm also very glad to announce that we have Rob Sinfield that will be walking the keynote area and actually delivering that keynote together with the guys from Australia as well. Very, very good representation, obviously, from Jeff as well, and then Richard Yang and JT will also come and join us in that regard, obviously with the guys from TPAC Australia. So without further ado, Jeff, I just want to ask you, are you going to change those screens for us? All right, perfect. So we have a couple of things that we've done within CRM. I'm also very glad to have Anthony also sitting on the call. He's part of our consortium, a new consortium called First Wave Group, consisting of 6 partners. And I'm also very proud to have Heinz Meyrung on the call, who is also assisting with the CRM products that we are doing. So I'm not going to steal Anthony's thunder. Just with regards to the case studies that I have prepared for you, I've got 2 prepared in 2 verticals. One being the insurance vertical, and then one very much within the agriculture vertical as well. So within insurance, we did a very interesting project for a company. The guys are they are a business cloud accounting customer. And what we've done was we connected the dots between business cloud accounting, our MWare Explore dynamic app, and also then Sage CRM. So there was a custom CRM integration, but very good to say that it works like a charm. Just maybe to tell you more about what's happening or what we're doing in CRM. I mean, we've been working with CRM for a very long time, to the point where initially we actually built a full-on business process management suite within CRM, and that is also piggybacking off the actual engine, the workflow engine sitting inside of CRM, together with the notification escalation that's happening inside of CRM. So, if that is something that you are looking at, we have our own MWare connector, REST API connector, which makes integration into the Sage products possible. But Jeff, also maybe worth asking you to, with regards to the announcements from Atlanta, where does Sage CRM sit within the integration pieces that's coming from Sage Network and the rest of the API structures?
Conversation with the Sage Network and Sage Connect teams. I sit in on the regular bi-weekly meetings that take place around the development. We've got 2 use cases that we're exploring with Sage Connect and therefore the Sage Network. One about the authorization of quotes, and the other about the acceptance and publication of some other document workflows. So it looks like what we're going to be pursuing first is the idea of rather than doing full quote mechanism in Connect, because it's not. We have to work on the pipeline that the Connect people are working on, and they haven't got round to doing quotations yet. It looks like we will be publishing a document like a PDF that is a quotation, and having that document reviewed and being able to be commented on, and that being fed back into Sage CRM. So we've got a use case, and we have got those. But I don't think it's going to be an immediate thing, because it's not us that is the bottleneck for that. It's the capacity of the Sage Connect team and the Sage Network team to be able to do that. But we have Elizabeth and I are in these conversations, building that sense of momentum. We've got a story around it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff.
That's where we're going.
Awesome. All right. So the insurance company, basically what they're doing is, and you'll see the workflow structures coming through, which is not traditional CRM, right? So we have obviously the call log coming in, and that is basically from the insurance company to our client. They go and assign the assessor for the site visit. The guys go out to the specific site. Now, these are sites, for instance, where you find a house burnt down, or a specific property, a commercial property burning down, or a lightning strike, or a water damage, all kinds of things like this that get reported. So when the assessor goes out to site with the mobile, we'll be able to do in-field data collection using the mobile app. And the data from the mobile is then shared back into CRM. So it updates the CRM case log with all the information that we've received. So obviously you can think of a lot of custom screens going on inside of CRM. From the information that is captured and collected, we generate a quote inside Sage CRM, and then that quote is then shared directly with the insurance company to go and check if all the we've dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, and to make sure that the insurance claim matches what the client's requirement is. Check if there are any shortfalls or any excess that needs to be paid. When the insurance company then acknowledges that the quote's been approved by the client, the project team then gets assigned, and these guys go out into the different sites where those problem areas are, and then they will go and complete whatever project requires completing. They'll complete that using the mobile app, and from the mobile app we give the instruction back to CRM, where they then complete that specific work, and that work instruction with the final invoicing is then written back into Business Cloud Accounting. Very, very interesting dynamics that the guys are handling over there. Thanks so much, Steph. Cool. Now, the agriculture business, we have a couple of them. We have two very big companies within agriculture, and both of them are using, the one actually started off using the business process management structures inside Sage CRM that I was talking about earlier. The other one that I have here is a case study with guys moving a lot of fertilizer. So the fertilizer raw material is actually a byproduct from the holding company. It's a lot of phosphates and these type of things that get shipped right through from the Middle East through the head office in Mauritius, and then the ports in southern Africa. So Mozambique and even inside of South Africa. So the ports handling are being handled. Let me first start from where this whole thing starts. You can see contract management. So contract management is actually the onboarding of the additional suppliers. So there might be additional raw material bought in. There might be packaging. It might be the actual shippers and transporters. Might be the guys doing the handling and the actual ports management themselves. So all of these guys are actually hooked up inside of that contract management, and that contract management is created through CRM. So even the buying process. So when we are buying product, we are using the Sage CRM front end, and it will go and create the various purchase orders that we require inside of Sage 300. And as soon as the Sage 300 purchase order has been created, it's an automated email that gets sent with that PDF PO that goes out to the suppliers. Stock is then allocated to that specific contract, and it's not just the allocation, but also the different movements. There are 26 companies in the group, and one of the companies might require stock that's been allocated to a specific shipment for another country altogether. So even the movements of that stock is handled within the logistics system that we've created. We call it Kinetic, as you can see the heading over there. So even that tracking is happening inside of CRM, and everything obviously gets date and time stamped. So we move the stock allocation through to the different groups. So that includes the ports handling, the fertilizer going onto a truck, the truck actually leaving the premises. Could be a truck that's allocated to a client, so a client-specific truck or a contracted truck, or one of our companies or the client's trucks. They go cross-border, they do offload at specific warehouses, or they take it to a specific customer. Once again, there's a lot of transactions happening at that same point in time. We do have intercompany purchase requests also between the different companies in the group. And for that, we'll have the sales order on one end and a purchase order on the other end. And we even do the intercompany transactions directly through from CRM into the different Sage 300 ERP companies or entities inside of that whole end-to-end solution. And then obviously the external product sales through to the external clients. I've prepared a couple of slides just regarding what the system looks like inside of CRM. So maybe we can just have a look at those as well. So you'll see the demand plan. So this is where they decide what is going to be needed in country. So they have this interactive dashboard, and the dashboard will show you right through all the information regarding metadata of the transporter, the vessels that they use to move the fertilizer, the dates of the purchases, the dates of when the specific product is required by in-country clients. So that whole system is being tracked in here. Thanks, Jeff. You can go to the next screen. So you'll see that when we do the contract management, very much user-friendly screen. The screens are also, the fields are flagged with mandatory items. You know, as part of the normal CRM, it will tell you, you know, if you've missed one of those required fields, it'll pop up, and you don't, you know, you can't really mess up that transaction. Very easy for the users also to go through training in the specific system, because it's a screen that they know, right? And that the screen actually guides you in the process. So contract onboarding happens. Thanks, Jeff. So we go and create the purchase order from that contract, and we can have multiple purchase orders on a specific contract. So on the right-hand side, you'll see from the actions what type of workflow steps we have in place. It's very small, but we can reassign a specific load. We can update specific transactions there. We can upload specific load sheets, and you know, there is really a lot of things, even editing of contracts to that effect as well. Thank you. So you'll see over here, all of these transactions we are linking together so that it's very easy to see a golden thread running right through all of the related transactions. So we'll see that there are, we'll have the client allocations, we'll have specific the releases against the contract, we'll have specific transport instructions, dispatch instructions, and then we can very easily also track independent receipts. So that's obviously when the purchase orders happened, with the stock's been arriving. Now we need to do something with the stock that we have received. We'll look at that in a sec. Thanks, Jeff. So the allocations happen. So these allocations are happening against the purchase orders that came in. So the stock is not. I see that somebody, Zainab, I see you've got your hand up. You're on mute. No. Okay. So the allocations happen. And these allocations are against those open POs that we created in the step, the second step after creating those contracts. Thanks, Jeff. Right. So with the allocation instruction itself, you can see over here we create the transfer. So it's almost like a request for a transfer to happen, and then the step just after it. This will be the actual transfer receipt to confirm that transfer has actually happened. So we can track goods going in transit and then the movement out of the goods in transit location to the specific places where it needs to be. Thanks, Chair. Right, so there we go with the actual releases. So these releases are put onto the trucks in country. So we know which trucks are actually moving the product between the warehouses intercompany or from the warehouse to the client, whether that is a client truck again in country or a specific contracted vehicle. And like I said earlier, you know, all of these suppliers form part of the entire contract, so we can track that contract by contract as well. Right, so this is the transfer receipt that I was talking about. So this is obviously now locking in the actual receipt at the receiving warehouse. Just touching on that. Thanks, Chair.
I'm going to suggest that we bounce through the next the final few slides.
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to take too much time. You can see the transport instructions and everything else. A lot of metadata. The idea being that, Jeff, you can actually roll through as we talk. The idea being that we want to be able to have a golden thread. We want to be able to very easily identify the transactions. We want to be able to, do very quick recons so that we can see exactly what happened to a transaction. So we even have lot tracking built into that system. So we can track from in-country product right through to the vessel that to the truck that brought it, to the vessel that offloaded, right through back to the original purchase order, which is quite cool. So we'll see, we'll know exactly what makes up a blend of fertilizer that ends up at a farmer that's going to use that fertilizer.
Well, thank you very much, Mich. We've now learned a lot about fertilizer.
Thanks, Jeff.
I have to say that sometimes I think Elizabeth makes me move a lot of fertilizer around as well. So,
It happens.
but we're going into Anthony now, and Anthony, shall I press go and start your video?
Yes,
Are
please.
you happy with me?
Jeff, thank you.
Simplify loan management with ASTECH LMS. Managing loans manually can be overwhelming. Manual processes increase the risk of errors, slow down approvals, and make it difficult to maintain visibility across the loan portfolio. Fragmented systems lead to delays and inefficiencies. A loan management system automates and centralizes the entire loan lifecycle, from origination to collections. Key capabilities include loan origination, loan servicing, compliance management, collections and recovery, complex interest calculations, advanced loan repayment and arrears tracking. Introducing ASTECH LMS, a smarter way to manage loans. Fully integrated with Sage CRM for seamless operation. Core features of ASTECH LMS: automated workflows for loan origination and servicing, real-time data and analytics for better decision-making, complex interest calculation capabilities for advanced financial modeling, comprehensive loan repayment tracking with automated arrears management, customizable loan products for diverse operational needs, comprehensive compliance tools integrated into daily processes, borrower portals for easy access to account information. Why ASTECH LMS? Streamlined processes for maximum efficiency, advanced financial management, data-driven decision-making, compliance at your fingertips, enhanced customer experience, scalability for growing businesses. Benefits of implementing ASTECH LMS include faster turnaround times, greater control, improved risk management, cost savings, confidence in compliance. Adopting a forward-thinking solution like ASTECH LMS ensures your business is ready to meet the demands of today's borrowers and the challenges of tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a brief overview of the ASTECH loan management solution built within Sage CRM. The reason we built the loan management solution within Sage CRM is that typically in a lending environment, most solutions consist of three main modules: the CRM, which is the customer acquisition and the communication section, front end of the business, core banking, which is the loans receivable management, the interest calculations, repayment or installment calculations, and arrears monitoring and tracking, and then obviously the financials. Now, these modules are often sold at an enterprise level and at enterprise pricing, which makes them unaffordable in the mid-market or for non-banking lenders. And that's typically who our market is. So we target typically non-banking lenders and mid-market banks. So our solution combines CRM, the core lending, and the financials into a single cohesive platform, one end-to-end solution. So the integration is seamless, and it can be deployed as a single full suite, or it can be deployed to replace one or more existing modules. So some clients might, for example, have their own client onboarding module, and we can integrate with that and build out the rest of our solution. Our system, because it's built within one solution, it simplifies implementation because there's don't have these all the complexities around multiple system integrations, multiple module integrations, which also reduces costs and improves long-term maintainability of the system. It also strengthens client retention by keeping everything in a single cohesive environment. So one of the challenges in our environment is that each lender is different. Each lender has different semantics for what they do and different processes for how they operate. And that is one of the big benefits of using Sage CRM, because with the extensive configuration ability, as you all know, and the custom workflow engine, we're able to configure everything from fields and forms to business processes and workflow steps. We can build the business specific rules and their requirements within our platform without code, by using Sage CRM's extensibility. So we have the ability to rapidly deploy and align with internal policies and regulatory requirements and ensure process consistency across the environment, across the organization. So it's an integrated lending approach. So from customer onboarding, which might be through CRM directly or through a portal, we have the ability to manage all the requirements for lending and for loan application and approval within the workflow engine, whether it be uploading documents, whether it be checking systems, whether it be integrating to other credit checking mechanisms and doing an online credit verification, can all be done through the CRM application workflow process. The LMS itself structures the loan products, calculates interest, does the repayment calculations, does interest, does arrears tracking, and sends out statements automatically. And then Sage 300 handles the general ledger and cash book. And within CRM, within our loan system, we have full audit trail and full communication tracking with the client and full audit tracking of changes in the system. So what does it mean for our clients? It means they have faster approval times around their loans. It improves their process. It means they have a single version of the truth because they don't have data moving backwards and forwards between different systems. It's all in a single cohesive system. And it means they can meet their regulatory requirements and eliminate the need for multiple Excel sheets all over the organization. So that's been a very quick whistle-stop tour of the solution. If you need more information, please feel free to contact me on the email address below. I'd be happy to do a customized, more detailed, in-depth demo. Thank you all very much for your time. Bye.
If anyone has any more questions or wants more information, please feel free to contact me and we can circulate that demonstration or do a more detailed presentation and demo. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is really the reason why I'm trying to include Mich's case studies, to include Anthony's case studies, is to remind us that Sage CRM is not simply a single concept of what CRM is. This is wrapping business processes around organizational needs. It is a development platform that can be configured to an organization's requirements with all of the internal rules handling and then through to the integration with the account engine behind the scene. We are striving to build new relationships. We are exploring to promote relationships, and this is where I want to start to come on to now in really some of the roadmap changes and some of the activities that we've got going on at the moment. Now, big news is that we've got 2025 R2 on the horizon. So put this into your diaries now that we are aiming to be releasing 2025 R2 at the end of October. So I will be literally out there in TPAC Asia talking about the product that is just about to hit. You, as if you want to be part of the beta program, you can have access to the software from October the 6th. That's the time. Bear in mind that this is all provisional. This is what we're looking at, so there might be some slippage, but we think that we're going to be on time, on budget, everything going right for 2025 R2. Contact me at Sage CRM team at sage.com if you want to be part of the beta program and want to have early access to the new release. Now, what's in that new release? Well, we know that we have identified a whole series of gaps. We know that Sage CRM is a broad featured product. We know that it's a 360 CRM system, but at the same time, we know that we need to make improvements. And this is what the purpose of the roadmap is all about, filling in those gaps, making sure that we're addressing things. But we are at a point of transition. Now, one of the things I don't think Elizabeth mentioned is that we've got more development resource. We've got a new developer on board. They've started to look at their learning and education yesterday. We've got another one lined up as well. So we'll be increasing our development team, and we are all becoming developers to a certain extent, as well as all being QA people and all being documentation people, and all being, because we are now a team that is expanding, but at the same time being put more and more work onto us. This roadmap, as you see it, is the last one that I presented to you at the last meeting, and it's got to change. We've got a big chunk of work coming up. there's the whole disruption of the fact that we delivered 2025 R1 late because of the work that we did around the Exchange Online integration, but we still are faced with this transition to the 64-bit Delphi environment, and so that's going to come in at some point. That work hasn't started yet, and that's going to be additional resource that we'll be looking at to help us do that particular task. Whatever we see currently promised in 2025 R2 may well slip, or it may be in a slightly different form. But everything else that you see is our intention to deliver. So I will be circulating in the next few weeks a revised roadmap, and that means I'll be updating everything that is in the context of everything that is in the context of the announcements that we put onto the community. The big thing about 2025 R2 is that we are going to be completing the Exchange Online integration. So we've got appointments in the system. We're going to be adding the synchronization of tasks and contacts as well for the Exchange Online integration. And that's going to mean that we will be relaxing at that point, because that big chunk of work has been done, and we will then be in a position to concentrate on the migration to the 64-bit Delphi. But there is other things coming, and I'm very excited about this. We know that there are features that we want to be able to do, but because of the concentration of work on not wanting to disrupt around the Delphi and the Java side of the application, we want to be able to add in new features, perhaps on an experimental basis. And so we're going to be looking at the idea of introducing we are going to be introducing the Sage CRM Labs concept. The Labs concept will be able to take features and be able to add them into the product using the concept of a component to be able to install or uninstall from the environment and remove from the user interface if people don't like it. We've got configurators lined up for this to help us help people who are new to selling Sage CRM to simplify the interface. We want to be able to add in new My CRM area information if people want to have the companies or the persons directly there. But the idea is that we want to accelerate innovation within Sage CRM to try out experimental features which are contained and a good candidate for a unit of code. We want to be able to do plug and play, to be able to drop things in and remove. We want to be able to use and maximize the use of the SDK and metadata to be able to make these customizations. And we want to be able to extend and do the things that we've already started to play with, things like QuickCal, but we want to be able to sort of deliver in and turn on webhooks, for example, within the product. We want to be able to turn on things like the idea of templates for quotes, so that we can drop a template inside so that you don't have to configure a complex quotation time and time again. So these sorts of things are where we're going to be using the concept of labs for, and that's going to be a new feature showing inside the product. And excitingly, I hope, is that we've now got movement from Sage so that Sage CRM will become a feature within the global marketplace. Now, this is obviously showing here the UK marketplace, where Timelinks and Cumulus and Draytrix are being shown their products. At the moment, they are all listed under other products, but this is going to come in, and we're going to be able to demonstrate how these products can be shown and searched for as a Sage CRM product in its own category within inside the marketplace. And that means I'm going to be turning around to a lot of you, like Anthony, and saying, let's go global. Let's take ASTECH Loan Management System global. Let's take that. I'll be talking to you, Mich, about saying, well, let's have your business cloud accounting extension go global. And everyone in here, this audience who is an ISV, we want to be able to get you onto the marketplace as quick as possible. That should be in place by 2025. R2. It will go at the speed of Sage. It's not going to go at the speed of Sage CRM. So this is something that I can't control exactly how fast we move, but we've had some very good conversations so far. Following up or looking at that, I'll remind you about the public roadmap. Please note that this is likely to be changing in the next couple of weeks because we'll be re-engineering this and redesigning and taking that roadmap through until 2030. We've got that confidence now that we'll be aiming for 2030, and let's have a look at what we've done in the way of new collateral. So there's new material. Most of this is up on the Partner Hub. I have passed this out to colleagues in AME and also APAC, where I don't think your partners access the Partner Hub. That's maybe a North American and UK thing. But there's the What's New guide for 2025 R1. There's 2 positioning documents. One really is telling partners this is why you should work with Sage CRM because it's driving growth, efficiency, and customer success. And the other one is let's actually understand how we position this and talk about the selling of Sage CRM. So two new handouts there, as well as a document that is up on the Help Center as a new document around securing self-service. Lots of tips there, though, for general CRM securing, not just for this, not just for Partner. Right, so I am now looking for people to volunteer to talk at the next BPAC. So, well, thank you everyone who has come along. I'm not going to make you stay any longer. This has gone on far too long, but thank you everyone for attending. I look forward to seeing you in September. I hope you're getting this sense that Sage CRM is certainly back on the road. We have got excitement and investment from Sage. That's what you wanted. That's what you're getting. We are pushing Sage CRM more and more. Thank you all so much. Goodbye.